lunch with Lyra.
Don't you dare walk away from your brother until you apologize, Dad barked, slamming his hand on the kitchen table. Mom's eyes were cold, her voice dripping with disappointment. You embarrassed him in front of the entire team, Amelia. He's family. I stood there, still in my gym uniform, sweat sticking to my back, my knuckles bruised from the morning's training session. He called me useless. Again. Mom rolled her eyes. He's just joking. You need to stop being so sensitive. That was it, sensitive. The word they used to gaslight me since childhood. My brother Ethan could crash Dad's car, skip training, insult everyone, and still be the pride of the family. I, on the other hand, could win gold and somehow still not be enough. Dad leaned forward. You're suspended from training until you apologize to your brother. That's final. I looked at him, then at Mom, then at Ethan, smug, arms crossed, a smirk playing on his lips. Okay, I said softly. He blinked, surprised. Wait, that's it? Yeah, I said with a small smile. That's it. Then I turned and walked upstairs. No screaming, no begging, just silence, the kind that hides a storm. That night, while they laughed downstairs, I was in my room. Laptop open, papers spread across my desk, every form filled, every signature perfect. They wanted to see me broken. Instead, they were about to see what quiet revenge looked like. By morning, I was gone. Not missing, just moved. Every trace of me from the old academy locker, every photo, every piece of gear, gone. The space where my nameplate had been was clean and empty, almost ceremonial. The moment Ethan walked in, I knew the silence hit him first. Then the realization. He froze, staring at the open locker like he was looking into a grave. Then he spotted it, a crisp white envelope taped to the inside door. His name written in my handwriting. He ripped it open. You always said I'd never make it without you. So, I left without you. You win, big brother. The golden child finally gets the whole spotlight. When he found me, I was already walking out of the academy gates, duffel bag over my shoulder, transfer papers in my hand. Amelia, he shouted, his voice cracking. Tell me you didn't send this. I turned, met his panic with a calm smile, and said, Already did. Yesterday. The color drained from his face. Dad's going to kill you. Oh, I know, I said. He'll have to find me first. That's when my phone buzzed. One new message, from the head coach of the rival national program. Welcome aboard, Amelia. We're honored to have you. I looked back one last time. Ethan was still standing there, holding my note like it was a weapon that finally turned on him. By the time my parents found out, it was too late. Dad stormed into my old dorm like a general inspecting a battlefield, and lost his war in one glance. My bed was stripped. My training gear gone. My framed photo, with the regional medal, missing. Mom called my name over and over like I might appear from the walls. But I was already on a bus, miles away, watching the sun cut through the fog like freedom splitting a cage. Her voicemail came through 15 minutes later, voice trembling between anger and fear. Amelia, what have you done? You think you can just leave? We invested everything in your training. Then Dad's voice, loud, raw, furious. You'll never last without my name. You hear me? Never. I muted the call. Then I sent one of my own to Coach Reynolds from Goldcrest National Training Center. He answered on the second ring. You made your decision? Yes, sir. My documents should already be there. There was a pause. Then his voice softened. I saw the videos, Amelia. You're one of the most disciplined athletes I've ever seen. You don't need permission to chase greatness. The words hit like oxygen after drowning. When I arrived at the new facility, everything felt cleaner. The air, the walls, even the silence. For the first time in years, I wasn't Ethan's sister. I was Amelia Carter, 26, national recruit. And my name had never sounded so alive. The new gym smelled like chalk and purpose. No family portraits on the walls. No golden boys hovering behind every spotlight. Just athletes, raw, relentless, hungry. Coach Reynolds met me by the track. "You train at 6, you eat at 8, and you rest when you've earned it," he said. "Can you handle that?" I smiled. "I've handled worse." Every sprint, every lift, every bruise became fuel. The whispers followed me at first. "That's the Carter girl who ditched her family team." But whispers don't stop medals, and within weeks, my times shatter records. Meanwhile, back home, chaos was brewing. Lydia, a friend still in the old academy, sent me a photo late one night. My brother Ethan arguing with Dad in the middle of the gym. Her text read, "He's furious. Your dad pulled funding for his private coach after your transfer made headlines. Said you embarrassed the Carter name." I stared at the photo, Ethan red-faced, pointing at Dad, and felt nothing but quiet satisfaction. They'd suspended me to protect their golden boy. And now their golden boy was cracking. 2 days later, an email arrived from an international sponsor, the same one that had always gone to Ethan. "We've reviewed your latest performance stats, Amelia. Let's talk partnership." I leaned back, grinning at the screen. This wasn't just training anymore. This was justice, timed, precise, and earned. The moment my sponsorship deal went public, my phone nearly exploded. News outlets, sports blogs, local channels, all using the same headline. "Amelia Carter signs solo deal after leaving family legacy behind." I didn't post, didn't brag, didn't gloat. I just trained harder. But silence, I've learned, can be louder than any victory speech. By evening, I got a call.
"Dad."
"Amelia," he started, voice tight. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" "I signed a contract," I said flatly. "You humiliated this family." "You mean your reputation," I corrected. "Not our family." He went quiet, and that silence, the kind that used to scare me, now felt like power. Then came Ethan, voice shaky but laced with anger. "You stole my future. That sponsor was supposed to be mine." I almost laughed. "You're welcome to it if you can beat my time." He cursed under his breath and hung up. Mom texted later, guilt laced in her words. "You're breaking us apart, sweetheart." I stared at the message and typed back. "No, Mom. You broke us the day you chose his comfort over my effort." Then I blocked her too. For years, I thought I needed their approval to be someone. But standing on that track, watching the sunset reflect off my new gold logo jacket, I realized they'd built me to be obedient. And I'd evolved into unstoppable. Weeks passed, and the headlines kept coming. My story, the disowned daughter who outran her legacy, had gone viral. Reporters wanted interviews, coaches wanted exclusives, even brands that once chased my brother were calling me. But I kept my head down. My revenge wasn't loud. It was consistent. Every early morning sprint, every flawless landing, every record I broke, it all spoke for me. Then one night, I got a message I never expected. From Ethan. "Meet me at the old track. Please." Just 5 minutes. I almost ignored it. But curiosity, or maybe closure, got the better of me. When I arrived, the field lights buzzed dimly, casting long shadows across the worn asphalt. Ethan stood in the middle, hands in his pockets. No arrogance, no swagger, just exhaustion. "You really did it," he said quietly. "You left." I had to. He nodded, eyes on the ground. "Dad's furious. Sponsors pulled out. Mom's barely talking." He swallowed hard. "I didn't think you'd actually walk away." "I didn't walk away," I said. I ran. For a second, I saw something new in his face. Regret. Maybe even respect. But then it flickered, replaced by envy. "You think you're better than me now?" I smiled faintly.
"No, Ethan."
I just stopped trying to prove I wasn't. And before he could reply, I turned and walked toward the gate, leaving him under those flickering lights, trapped in the shadow he'd built for me. The next morning, the phone rang again, this time from a number I hadn't saved, but knew by heart. "Amelia," Mom's voice wavered, "your father's had enough. He says if you don't come home and apologize, he'll cut you off completely." I laughed softly. "Mom, he already did." "You think this is funny?" she snapped, but her tone cracked halfway through. Do you know how it looks? Everyone at church is talking. Your brother is reaping what he sowed. I interrupted. And for once, that's not my burden to carry. There was silence. Then, quieter. You sound different. I am different, I said. I'm done begging to be believed in. She exhaled, defeated. I just wanted peace, Amelia. I smiled sadly. So did I, Mom. I just had to earn mine. That night, while the city slept, I walked down to the new training field, floodlights glowing across the empty lanes. I ran until my lungs burned, until the ache turned into clarity. Every step I took away from them wasn't rebellion. It was survival. When I finally stopped, Coach Reynolds was waiting by the gate. You ran angry tonight, he said, handing me a water bottle. Not angry, I said, catching my breath. Just free. He smiled. That's when champions are born. For the first time, I believed him. Because I wasn't just running from something anymore. I was running toward myself. 6 months later, the championship lights felt brighter than ever. Cameras flashed, the crowd chanted my name, not Carter's daughter, not Ethan's sister, but Amelia Carter, the name I'd rebuilt from ashes. I stood on the starting line, heart steady, mind silent. Across the field, I saw them, my parents, sitting stiff in the VIP box. Ethan beside them, arms crossed, jaw tight. Funny how small they look now. The gun fired. 8 seconds of pure motion. 8 seconds of everything I'd fought for. When I crossed that finish line, gold time glowing on the scoreboard, I didn't raise my hands in victory. I just smiled, calm, quiet, complete. After the ceremony, I found an envelope slipped into my bag. No name, just a single note inside. We were wrong. You didn't destroy the family, you saved what was left of it. Mom. I folded the paper and tucked it into my medal case. Not forgiveness. Not reconciliation. Just acknowledgement enough. As I left the arena, the evening wind brushed against my face. The same wind that once carried my father's shouts now carried the sound of applause. I'd learned that sometimes, the only apology you'll ever get is your own success. And the only revenge worth taking is peace. I looked up at the scoreboard one last time, then whispered to myself, steady and proud. They suspended me to silence me. I ran to set myself free.